There's always a party in Montana, whether you're going to a wedding, a football game, a concert. Montana Party Bus can get you there safe and will take you anywhere in Montana. You can relax with friends in style, luxury, and safety. Western Montana based for local and regional travel within Montana borders. Montana Party Bus is great for both large and small groups with a capacity of up to 30 guests. If you want to elevate your event, call them anytime, 406-200-8096. You can also visit mtpartybus.com. Travel anywhere in Montana in style with the Montana Party Bus. Big Sky Breakdown, proudly presented by the Bobcat Collective at Montana State. The Bobcat Collective is the NIL collective that serves Montana State University student athletes. The collective is partnered with Montana State to connect fans, alumni, businesses, and local nonprofits with Montana State student athletes. Opportunities through the collective allow student athletes to earn compensation while serving the greater Montana State University community. Sign up now for memberships and enjoy automatic entry into raffles for free tickets while supporting the bright minds at Montana State. They have multiple different membership tiers, and you can also be a one-time supporter, and you can also business partner or corporate supporter. Visit bobcatcollective.com for more. The lead-up coverage continues here with a big-time Big Sky Conference game. In fact, the game of the week in Flagstaff, Arizona, coming up between Montana State and Northern Arizona. Matt Smith joining us now here on the Big Sky Breakdown. Thanks for being here, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Just getting ready to go.
Your impression so far of working with this group? Interesting challenge for you, taking over a group that lost a couple All-Americans, but certainly return a ton of talent as well. So what have you thought just of sliding into the spot there at MSU?
Yeah, absolutely. This position is a blessing. I thank God every day for this opportunity, and Coach Vegan and the staff for entrusting me with these young men, and they're a great group to work with. The guys that just love football, they love offensive line play, and but we're still working through some kinks. It is a younger, more inexperienced group, but I do have guys like JT Reed and Titan Fleischman and Burke Mastel that have played some games that are help leading those guys along, and they work really hard, and that's all I can ask for as a position coach. My job, obviously, to get them playing well on the field.
I think probably the common football observer doesn't understand how challenging it is to play different offensive line positions. Like they're not all created equal. Each one's a specific spot, and each side is a specific side. And I remember when I was a sophomore getting switched from left side to right side. I mean, it's totally different, man. It's a whole new challenge. So break down that part of it, because you've had several different guys, JT, Titan, Cedric Jefferson. They've all had to slide around. What sort of challenges in your mind are there when you are sort of shuffling the deck there?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we had an injury, right before Oregon to start the season. And, as a staff, we kind of look at it. It's my job to put the five best guys on the field, and that's what I felt like we did. You want to build that rhythm, the continuity of guys playing next to each other. I think that's a really real thing on the offensive line. But at the same time, guys got to be able to understand multiple positions. I think that's just kind of the day and age of college football. You ask NFL teams, I mean, the best ability is availability. If you could play
Totally.
multiple positions, that's how you're going to be able to get yourself to be valuable and be on the field and ultimately make a roster. And so our guys accepted the challenge for sure. And there's definitely those little kinks and different things that guys learn, I would say, throughout the course of a game, playing a new position. But I think guys are really settling in now to their spots and understanding the different nuances as it kind of comes and goes. But it's a next man up mentality for sure.
But that position diversity is, people that are listening to this, if you remember Mike Person was an offensive tackle at Montana State, got drafted as an offensive tackle. He sort of toiled around for a little while, but then when he learned how to play guard and play center, look what happened. He played 10 years in the NFL because he had all these different things that he could bring to a roster. So, that's a great example of position diversity, right?
Yeah, I think once you kind of put that in the minds of some of these guys, they
Right.
kind of open up a little bit more to it. Understand, well, it is for my own development and it's ultimately for the team's success. Of course, I want to develop these guys and provide value for them to continue to play on at the next level. And I think some of these guys have that opportunity. But the ultimate goal is to win games on Saturdays. And so that's what we're working for, obviously, every week.
How have you seen what sort of progress have you seen then with some of these guys playing spots for the first time over this last month? Because it seems like the offensive line's progressively gotten better each week. Where have you seen it grow?
Yeah, I would just say in general, I mean, a guy like JT, who luckily played spring at center. I think those reps were huge for us as an offense. And now he's really taking control and understanding how you see things and try to put guys on the same page. I think that he's really progressed in that aspect. Again, it's not easy. It's a completely different game from tackle to guard, right? So think of a guy like Titan where you got all this space and time to kind of, it's almost a little bit more of a finesse game on the outside versus all of a sudden you get put on the inside, put your hand in the dirt. It's physical right now, every single play, forever long you play. And so his progression, I think, has been really good. We're still working out some kinks there. And then ultimately getting Burke back, I think, was a huge plus for us. Just a veteran guy that has played meaningful downs and games that provides a little bit of an edge on the inside. I think that's something that we were really looking for in the first couple of weeks, that him coming back definitely helps us out as a unit. And really, ultimately, being next to a young guy like Braden Zimmer, I mean, his knowledge to try to help that guy along is huge.
Yeah, tell me about Braden Zimmer. He's an interesting case study. I loved watching him play basketball in high school. You could tell he's a great athlete, but at that moment, he's by left tackle standards, a skinny kid. He's not skinny anymore. At least he's not as skinny as he was. What sort of physical progress have you seen out of him, and how have you thought he's done, just getting sort of thrown to the wolves here early on in his career?
Yeah, I mean, I remember my first time walking in the facilities and seeing him. I'd be like, "Who is that guy?" And I'm thankful that he was in my position group. He's got a lot to learn still. And I think that's exciting, for him to go out there as a redshirt freshman playing meaningful downs right away, being a starter. He's learning each and every week on how to do this, or, oh, this happened to me last time. I'm going to do this instead. There's still a lot of weight. I tease him all the time. If there's not food in his hands, then he's wrong. And I'm going to be upset with him because needs to continue to gain weight and get bigger and stronger. And guy will take advantage of that, right? But he's finding ways to get around it. And like you said, he's a physical specimen. He's athletic. He plays hard. We just got to continue to develop him at that position, and hopefully the game speed and the game knowledge will continue to grow as we go throughout the weeks and get into important football later on.
The weight gain part of this is something that has been really fascinating to study over the years, because I do think that that's one part that has made so much progress, especially at the FCS level. Like, it used to just be like, go to Wendy's and get yourself as many hamburgers and frosties as you can, right? Like, go to dollar taco night at Taco Bell, and like, it's not probably that good for you. Seems like you guys have a much more structured and healthy and sustainable way of helping these guys put on weight. So how much impact do you think that's had just on offensive line play in general?
It's astronomical. I mean, Coach Herron, I think he's the best in the business. What he's been able to do with a Braden Zimmer in a year is remarkable to me. Cheyenne, our nutritionist, does an awesome job giving those guys education on nutrition and what to eat, what not to eat in order, if you're a weight gain guy or you a lose weight guy. I think our strength and conditioning, our nutrition is honestly some of the best I've ever been around. They just do a remarkable job of really understanding those guys and understanding their goals, and even talking to us as coaches, because I think that's important as well, as where do we think they need to be at in order for them to play well. And so I couldn't say enough good things about Coach Herron and Cheyenne.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Town Pump. Right down the road. Pump it up. Oh, yeah.
Another day, flavorless forage.
What in the heck is this magic? It smells intriguing. Could this be the answer to my lifelong struggle against bland wilderness cuisine? Okay, deep breaths. Don't get your hopes up, big guy.
Finally, a meal fit for a famished Bigfoot. Thank you, Alpine Touch. My Rocky Mountain adventures just got a whole lot tastier.
Back to the JT Reed playing center, because this was something that I've argued on our commentary based podcast quite a bit, because I played center my last 2 years, and it is such a ball skill. Like, it is such a thing that takes so, and you're a center too, right? So
Yes.
what goes into training a guy to do that if it doesn't come naturally to him? And where have you seen JT specifically make progress just in mastering that ball skill?
I mean, number one, you're the only guy on the offensive line playing with four, one hand and one underneath you. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
It's a completely different animal in a game, and I think that his natural ability to be twitchy, and I think there's something to be said about being a student of the game and having good football IQ, right? Obviously, people talk about all the time the center's got to be one of the smartest guys in the room, if not on the team. JT's played a lot of football and he understands those things to where he can kind of use that to his advantage. You know, he's used to playing guard. He's used to having both hands ready to go. I think it takes time. You know, very rarely does it come naturally to somebody, right? I think it takes time and development in order to do that. But his progression from just simply putting guys on the same page from spring to now, the calmness he has when he walks out there, I think is getting better each and every week. You know, when you're out there against, you know, different defenses every single week, it can be a little bit, how do you say it? Difficult, right? To be able to see certain things. And I think as the week progresses each week in practice, he starts to see things even clearer and clearer. And then he remembers things from the previous weeks to put himself on the same page. And so his snapping has gotten a lot better, his ability to put us all on the same page. And we've been playing a lot of odd fronts. And truthfully, I think he does a really good job of being able to neutralize that nose guard. I mean, that's from experience, that's a tough thing to do.
Centers are always the smartest guys on the team, and the best looking ones too.
Couldn't agree with that anymore.
Do you think though, there's the center sort of aptitude that you have to have? Is that something that helps you in you specifically in coaching?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, anytime, you know, I want all our guys to know every single position, every single assignment. I didn't have a choice. If I didn't know everything, I was not going to get an opportunity at Fresno State when I was
Right.
playing. And so I took that to heart and I wanted to know everything I possibly could. And absolutely, I think being in that position, such a hard position, and having to see things from a bird's eye view and directing traffic and pointing things out and being a leader, I think that does help you in coaching for sure. Very blessed that I had that opportunity to play that position where I did and learn from a lot of great players and coaches as well.
When it comes to Northern Arizona, then I mean, to me, it looks like the defensive line is one of their defensive strengths. So, what do you think of just that element, and how's the preparation gone this week as you prepare to head to Flagstaff?
Yeah, definitely. Watching tape each and every day. I mean, those guys get better and better in your mind when you look at the technique they play with and the pad level. I think their defensive scheme, just in general, proposes issues and problems and things that we got to sort out as an offensive line. You know, they do a lot of cover zero pressures, twisting and stun, different fronts that they do. And so obviously we have to be prepared. We all have to be on the same page. And we kind of talk about it in the room, you know, if all are wrong, all are right. You know, if we're all going to the wrong spot, but we're all connected, we can make things right. And obviously, if we're all right, we're all right. So they provide a lot of issues, a lot of confusion, I think, that they're trying to create, and they play hard, they play well, they're well coached. And it's going to be a battle, no doubt about it, but we're ready for the challenge, and that's what we talk about every week. This team will go as far as we play. So we play well, we'll be just fine. And so that's the challenge every week, and we got to put a good product on the field, and we got to keep getting better every single week.
Well, last thing for you, one thing Coach Vegan talked about on Monday, and then Jody Owens just talked about right before we got with you, was this is a challenge, but it's not only one you guys are ready to embrace, but one that, like Jody said, he thinks you guys need as well to continue to sort of keep sharpening the sword. So just talk about that element of it and sort of rising up and embracing the challenge of playing a top 13 team on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. I think any opportunity to have to play a great team every week, you know, is something that you should cherish and be excited about. And I think there's no surprise from anybody. I mean, we're not satisfied with how we've been playing on Saturdays. Not that it's completely bad, but we know there's a certain level and standard and expectation that we got to play at. And obviously, each week we got to continue to take steps and mature and come together as a group to ultimately get to our final goal of winning championships. And so this is another huge week. It is a challenge, but that's what you need in a season like this to be able to go on the road, win a game like that, get your team together, build some confidence that we are battle tough. We are hardened, and especially, obviously, the offensive line up front. You know, they got to see some challenges, and they got to be ready for it, be prepared, and that's what we've been talking about all week is how much are you willing to sacrifice to be successful on Saturday during the week.
Coach, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for checking in.
Absolutely. No issues.
So will you marry me in your future? Or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana Club.